This
architecture.
conference will now be recorded.
We have seen the architecture today. Now, what all things we have here? Let us check that. We have something called storage accounts. We'll discuss on storage accounts concept today. Storage accounts. If you wanted to store any data in Azure, you have something called storage account. We have two types of storage accounts. Okay, one is data like Gen2, another one is blob storage account. Data like Gen2 and blob storage account. In data like Gen2, we can store any kind of data, structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. We can store any kind of data. What does structured mean? Anyone? What does structured data means? Any idea? What does structured means?
Is it
Data
the
coming in a
normalized?
predefined format.
Sorry.
Data
The
coming in a
normalized bit.
predefined format. Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, go on, Sri, yeah, whatever Sri,
Yeah,
SP, what is, yeah.
data.
Hmm?
So data coming in as a predefined format.
Okay, yeah, and Sachin,
I was just saying that normalized the data which is already normalized.
okay, Sunil, you are saying something? I'm not able to hear you, Sunil, same problem. I can hear others, but I don't know. At your end, can you check what is the issue? Okay, so here structured means the data is stored in rows and column format. Okay, for example, any SQL table or Oracle table, or you can say um, an CSV file. Okay, the data is stored in rows and column format. This is called structured. Okay. What is semi-structured then? What is semi-structured? I don't want an exact answer. If you can guess it also, that is fine. Anyway, we came here for learning only, so it's not that you have to say only exact things. What is semi-structured, guys?
Data coming in as a CSV format or separated data.
CSV format, I mentioned it as structured.
Okay.
So semi-structured. Okay, let's go
I mean,
to this.
just like
Mhm.
structured, we have rows and columns. Maybe the data which just has columns. I'm just guessing. Partially
Yeah,
structured.
yeah. Let's say partially structured. How it in the format? Let me explain you. So the examples of this unstructured is, sorry, semi-structured is Parquet format and something called JSON format and HTML kind of data. Have you seen anytime HTML kind of data? Okay, let me show you how the JSON data looks like. they have this flower brackets. They say ID 1 and say name something and city. They have, okay, this is how they'll have the data. This kind of data is called as semi-structured data, which might not be suitable for human reading. In Parquet, if you open that file, you'll not able to read the data properly. Okay, the data, you'll know, you'll say something name, but what it is related, all these things you can't able to compare. And in this is also simple JSON file. There will be complex JSON file in this way. Address, next again it will open again with an array. Now inside this array again it will open with flower brackets. Say ID, sorry, where is your city, state, country. This is how it will come. This is
So,
something little complex JSON. This is how the JSON semi-structured data looks like.
Sign not very clear. Like, why is it partial? You have name, you have where the person lives.
Hmm. No, the partial in the sense data doesn't be available in the partial way. It is normally not formatted well, like in the rows and columns way. This is in the different format, right?
Okay,
Is
okay,
this in rows
okay.
and
I
columns?
understand.
Yeah, that's why we call it as semi-structured data. You have something called
So,
unstructured data.
so
Yeah, go
if
on.
you have an XML, sorry, go. So if you have an XML file, what does what does that come under? Is it
That comes
structured or
under
unstructured?
no, semi-structured. Okay,
So
your
the structured is
XML data. Mhm.
structured is basically any table, any table.
Hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
got it, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, unstructured data. Let's see. Now, and I'm adding an example of XML also in the semi-structured. Unstructured data. When you have some audio file, when you have some video files, when you have something called backup files, this all comes under unstructured data, which you can't read the data. You can see a video, but whatever it is written in the backend, you don't know, right? Video. 1 minute, guys. Just give me 1 minute. Sorry, I just went away. So here, unstructured data comes your audio files, your video files, and any kind of backup files. Backup files in the sense, if you have a database, if you take a backup of the database, it will be like this. Okay, db dot some back file, dot back file. This kind of data we call it as unstructured data. Okay, any doubts on this? Any doubts in
So,
that? Structured, semi-structured, unstructured.
try just one
So,
question. So if I upload, let's say, if I get some data, contacts or something from Facebook, and I
mhm,
use it in in a database, how would it
mhm.
first appear as a semi-structure, or would it be unstructured?
Sorry, I did not get. Can you please repeat once again?
So suppose if I download all the contacts data or something from from Facebook and upload it, so would that be unstructured or semi-structured?
You wanted to upload from Facebook. What you wanted to upload?
I mean, if I download all the contacts from the Facebook and I try to
What kind of
use it in a
content?
database, would it be would it be unstructured initially, or would it
What
be
I mean, what kind of
semi?
content you wanted to store?
So it
What
could
is
be
that content
anything,
you want?
right? Maybe
Okay,
let's
let
say
me
some chat history or
let me say
something.
you.
I'm just trying to look for a practical example.
Okay, in social media, you have something called likes, comments, okay, images,
Right,
okay. What else you have? You can share the videos,
right.
right? There are so many things.
Mm-hmm.
So you can post something. You can post. You have posts. So these data, likes, comments, posts, these comes under semi-structured while you bring from Facebook. Okay, images and videos, these comes under unstructured data. So
Got it.
while you bring data to the uh, while you bring the data, they will give this in this way, in the semi-structured way. They'll mention, okay, how many likes you have, how many comments they mentioned, what is the image URL they'll give. They'll not give the image here itself, but they'll give an URL. With that URL, you can decrypt and say what image it has. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
for videos they'll say the URL, for posts they'll say the URL. Then like that the data comes. So this data they'll stored in semi-structured format, and images and videos, it comes under unstructured format. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah. Let's go further. You have these kinds of data. So in cloud there is no restriction of storing the data. We can store any kind of data here. So where we will store? We will store it in data like Gentoo either, or you have something called blob storage account. You have something called blob storage account. These two places we are storing. So then what is the purpose of having two storage accounts then? If I can store all kind of data, structured, semi structured and unstructured data in data like Gen2 and blob storage, then what is the use of having two storage accounts?
Is it related to the pricing?
Hmm. Okay, very good. Pricing. Next one. Anyone? Any guesses?
In blob storage, we can save the data in cloud.
Hmm.
Sir,
And data like Gen2?
yeah, it may be on-premise as well as cloud both.
Any other guesses, guys? Any other guesses? So let me say, you can store both the kinds of data in blob storage and data like Gentoo storage. Okay, one kind of difference is blob storage. You can't create a hierarchical folder structure. folder structure. What is hierarchical? You cannot create, okay, in the blob storage. But whereas in the data lake Gen 2, you can create it. In the data lake, you can create. What is this hierarchical structure is like? You have in your laptop, you have something called D drive or C drive, something, right? Everyone will have some kind of drive. Inside the drive, you maintain some folder structure. Yes or no? Like you will say my project work, one folder, my project. Next, you will maintain another folder called my personal something. Just giving an random example. I don't know how you store, but my project, my personal, and something called learnings, something called important documents. Like that, you will store multiple folders, and each folder you will again store subfolders. Like you'll say, these are something called videos of my project, and something. Forgive me for the spelling mistakes. Just don't focus on the spellings only. Okay, videos, and you can say something called documents. Again, another folder documents, and you'll say something called another folder. You'll say some called scripts. Likewise, you'll create multiple folders, and inside that you'll keep actual whatever the video file. Okay, .wmev or some file, the video file, Word document here, Word doc or Excel doc. So this way of architecture, okay, a folder inside again another folders like subfolders, and inside subfolders we might have another subfolder or actual files. So this kind of architecture we call it as hierarchical architecture. Okay, this kind of architecture we call it as hierarchical architecture. This we can't do in blob storage. So what is the advantage if you have hierarchical architecture, guys? Just let me know. What will be the advantage? Usually what will be the advantage you'll get?
Better performance.
Better performance. Yes, that's true. Because if all are at single place, if you're saying like if you keep in D drive in one place only all the things, your learning, your important scripts, everything, okay, without any folder structure or subfolder structure, it will be very hard to trace, right? For us also it will be very hard to trace. I need to check all the 100 files or 1000 files I need to check. But if I segregate into 4 folders, I'll segregate, and subfolders I'll segregate, and subfolders I'll segregate. That will be easy for me to navigate and find out, right? So in a similar way, when you're going with Azure, it's improves the performance when your resources try to access the data and get the data. That is for improving the performance. Less one is performance, and next thing you have something called, you can analyze the data with the help of serverless SQL pool, which comes under Synapse. Okay, in Synapse we learn about this. This will help. This will work only in data like Gen 2 storage account. It will not work in blob storage account because this requires some folder structure, hierarchical structure. So in blob storage we don't have that kind of hierarchical structure, so this will not work. So when you are choosing a project, which kind of storage account you wanted to choose, you just simply store the data, and you are not analyzing or you are not doing any real-time works, then go with blob storage. If you are analyzing the data and if you are going to real-time work, then go with data lake Gen 2. This is the difference, and the cost also will vary from them. And one more thing, you have something called, for each resource we have some permissions, right? We'll have some permission kind of thing. So these permissions on the lowest granular level. If you wanted to provide permission, like I wanted to provide permission on a container, on a folder level, on a file level to some person, that is possible in data like Gen2. Some there are some restrictions on permissions which is not available in blob storage account. So these are the major three differences. We call it as ACLs. Okay, this kind of level of permissions which is not available in blob storage. And something called SFTP. There are other things also, but these are the major things. So if someone asks, will you be able to say at least three things now? Yes or no?
Yeah.
What will be the differences? You can say at least three differences right now. If an interviewer asks you, you can at least say three differences. One is ACL permissions, access control list permissions we don't have. This means you can't give permission on lowest granular levels. And you have something called hierarchical folder architecture. This folder architecture, this structure we don't have in blob storage, which we have in data like Gen2. And something called serverless syntax SQL. If you wanted to use this concept, it is not possible in blob storage. It is only possible in data like Gen2. At least three differences you have. Um, to say to the interviewer. Okay, so what is the limit of the storage? For example, your laptop will have some limit, no, for storing the data. So what is the limit you have in the cloud? Just guess, what is the limit
Limit
you will
in
have?
GB. Yeah, limit in GB.
Yeah, anything you can try and just guess a number. Guess any number, guys.
It depends on our selections, like whatever we need configuration, we can choose that.
Like unlimited storage,
Sorry, what is it?
like unlimited, how much
Okay,
money you can spend, you get that much of storage.
okay, very good. So usually there will not be any limited storage in the cloud, but we have some figures. Okay, for each storage account, you have 512 TB, sorry, 512 or 500 TB storage they'll give you. 500 terabytes of space they'll give you per storage account. So how many storage accounts you can create per subscription? Per subscription, you can create 500 storage accounts. So 500 into 500, what is the count?
250,000.
Okay, this amount of TB, we can count it as in petabytes or even more than that. So this amount of terabytes of data you'll be having per subscription. Per subscription, you can create 500 storage accounts, and one storage account can be of size of 500 TB, terabytes. 500 terabytes, it's very huge, right? In our laptops, we will have some 1 TB of storage max, right? So 500 of terabytes of data. This is the storage limitation we have. It's very huge. And let us try to create a storage account, and let us see what I have said, whether it is relating or not for the blob storage account and data like Gen2 storage account. Let me go to the portal. Let me create a new storage account here. I'll search for storage account. Create. Create a new resource group. I just gave some random name, storage account name, blob stg. What is the date today? 1705. Give a unique name. This redundancy part I'll tell you tomorrow. What is this redundancy and what is the importance of this redundancy? I'll tell you tomorrow. Let me go
I
with,
one question. Sorry.
yeah,
So when you say the unique name, does it has to be a unique name within the organization, or is it within the whole
whole
pool
Azure.
of whole Azure? Okay.
Okay. Next, go with, I'm going with the default settings. I'm creating a normal blob storage now. How will I know normal blob storage and a data like Gen2 storage account? There will be only one check. There will be difference. I'll tell you the difference. Okay. Let's create the normal blob storage now. While it is creating, let us create one more storage account, which will be data like Gen2 storage account. While it is creating, let us go and yeah, it started. So let us go back. Let us create a new storage account. Create. Can you please go on mute? So let's create the name data lake gen 2. This name has already taken, so I'm going with today's date. The same thing, but only one check you can say here, little above, hierarchical namespace. Okay, this thing, if you check, then it will become data like gen 2. That's it. Only one check, there will be difference.
So say if you don't give anything by default, it creates a blob.
Blob.
Okay.
So that is what we have done on the first side. I did not give anything. I just gave names on the first page and I went on. Now on the second page I came and I checked
But
that
they,
hierarchical namespace.
sorry, I mean, but I also saw a setting for a blob on this place where you clicked on the hierarchical. There was a blob, section as well.
Where?
Yeah, I mean, if we can create another one, probably.
Hmm.
If you, yeah, you'll have to go to the next page.
Hmm.
See, there is a blob storage section here.
Yeah, but
We don't
yeah,
need this
this
to be set
no
for
need.
blob.
No, just go defaultly. That will create a blob. If you check this, then it will create a data like Gen2. Okay. Only this check is the difference. Enable hierarchical namespace. If you go normally, it will create a blob. If you check this, it will become a data like Gen2. That's it. Okay. Is that clear? Is it clear? Whoever they asked this.
Yeah, this is from, yeah, it was me. That's right.
Okay. So now we have something called data like Gen2 and normal blob storage. Let me open the blob storage first. Let me go to the containers part. This is where data engineer does his role on the containers. They'll create a multiple containers. Container is nothing but a folder, main folder like your drive kind of thing on this storage account. Inside that you can have multiple folders. Okay. So container is nothing but a drive kind of thing on your storage account. Let me create a new container here, say EDW. So inside EDW, here I see the things here. Upload it is saying, and it is saying something change access level, refresh something. Upload means you can upload any file. You can upload any file directly to here. Okay. Let me upload a file and I'll show you. Okay. Let me upload a file here now. Upload. I uploaded a file already. Let me upload another file. Day3 something file and say upload. This is how we'll upload the files here. Okay. Now I'll go to the data like Gen2 storage account now. Let me create a container here also, the data like Gen2. Let me say something called EDW again here. You can give any name. See here, upload. It is saying add a directory. This thing is not there in normal blob storage. We have something called add a directory. Click on add a directory and say something called input. Input. Now inside the input, you can create another directory. Let's say 2024. Inside the 2024 folder, you can create another folder also. That is possible. And I'll just upload a file here. I'll upload some kind of file here. I uploaded a file. So you can create multiple folder structures here. And whereas if you go with the other storage account, blob storage account, you're not able to create multiple folder structure. Okay. Let's say I have deleted these files now. How can I recover these files? I deleted by mistakenly. I need to recover those files. So there is a concept called show deleted blobs here. What is this here? Can you please be mute everyone? Okay, let me go and select this show deleted blobs. Whatever the files which I deleted, it is available here. Can say like this and say undelete. It will come back again here. The default is 7 days. It will show you, but you can go and extend up to 90 days of storing these files. If something deleted by mistakenly, you can store them in till 90 days. So default is 7 days. So it is saying 6 more days it will be available. From today, 6 more days it will be available. So default is 7 days. You can get it back by saying undelete.
Uh,
Like it's like our recycle bin. Yeah.
Sai, it is similar to like Gmail and Outlook email. Like we deleted and we can also recover. So
Hmm.
it is also like working the same concept, like
Yeah, yeah.
block.
Same thing, same thing.
Okay.
Okay. So this is one of the feature we have. So this is applicable in the data lake gen 2 also. The same thing. You will be able to delete and you can get it back. Here you can delete on the folder level also. That is fine. Or if you don't want anything, you can delete on the folder level. So all the subdirectories will go here. Okay. You wanted to get it back, say undelete everything. Okay. Is that clear? What is the difference between two storage accounts? How to create storage accounts and how to create a folders and upload the files? Is that clear, guys?
Yes.
Yeah. Let me go back. We have something called access keys. This will be used in the applications. We have something called shared access signatures. Let me, what I'll do is allow on the container service and object level also. I'm just going and saying this, or I'll go inside this folder level container input. Okay, let me say generate SAS here and say read, add, and write something permissions I'm giving you. I'll generate a SAS token. I'll share this link to you, everyone. Just try to access that link. Just, just try to access that link and let me know what you are able to get. Does a file is downloading for you? Pasted it in the chat actually. Are you able to access that link?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So we're able to download a file with the permissions I have given to you. So this kind of things we can do. I'm just deleting the file. No worries. And this is also possible in the other place also, both data like Gen 2 and normal blob storage. Sunil, I could see you have raised your hand. Please let me know what is your doubt. You have texted me in the chat. It's in terabyte. It's in terabyte, not gigabyte. And if storage is already created, then how can we check? This is how I'm checking. No, click on the storage accounts. Just go and click on storage accounts. You can see all the storage accounts whichever it is created. Okay, I wanted to delete my storage account. Click on delete and say copy this thing. Just paste it here and say confirm delete. That will delete the storage account. So after each class, for storage account you can keep it, but whenever you create a SQL table or other things, you delete that. You don't keep them because it will cost you. It will be whenever you are learning, just create on the fly and just learn. Otherwise, don't maintain them. Okay, just I'm deleting my storage accounts. Let's refresh. So I have deleted my storage accounts. This will also we have deleted. It will go in sometime from here. Okay. So these are my previous storage accounts. I can keep it or I can delete them as well. That is not a matter. So any doubts on this storage account part? If you have any doubts, just ask me because these are the beginning classes. I wanted to go a little slow. Tomorrow we will not have any class. Monday we will have class. From Monday, I'll show you how to move data from one place to another place using some pipelines which comes under Synapse. We'll go with Synapse and we'll be doing the data loading part, everything from storage account, how we can give the data and how to move from one place to another place. We'll start slow by slow and we'll enter into advanced places. Okay, advanced topics. Any doubts for today, guys? You have any other questions? General questions? You have anything you wanted to ask?
Yeah, Sai, so I have a question regarding the entire course curriculum, right? So initially you are, I mean, looking at, can I share my screen if that way it's easy for you to walk around? Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm making you
Uh,
presenter. Yeah, please go on.
um, Not sure which one it is. I think this is, yeah. So this is the entire course curriculum, right? For the data engineering.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in this, we are starting with the big data, and then we have uh, we have regarding the synapse and others.
Mm.
In the Databricks, um, which of these where you would take some live examples? That's what my real question is. Like, would you be covering some live examples in each one of them, or you will be just doing it for one of the databases or a couple of them? When
No,
I say
we will
live
be
example,
creating.
it doesn't has to be real time data, but something to do with the data where we are doing the dimensional modeling, we are creating the tables, moving the structure into the structured format, and then just taking them from one place to other and doing
Yeah,
some
yeah,
more.
that will do. That will do. We will be converting a structure to semi-structured, semi-structured to structured. and whatever the pipelines we design that you can use in your real-time project work. Okay, so the same pipelines they
Okay.
will be designing in the project work also.
Okay. 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 That's for my question.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll stop sharing.
yeah, yeah, please.
Stop sharing.
Okay,
Okay.
and if no one has doubts, let's meet on Monday, guys. See you all.